Hey guys, long time no see. Apologies, been ridiculously busy. So I'm gonna cut to the chase. Today I have some leftover lumber. I replaced a deck on the front of the house. It was like a 4x6. It wasn't even a deck, it was more like a platform. So I tore that down and I built a 10x16 deck with a roof and all that. Probably pop a picture or two in showing the new deck. But anyway, I've been wanting to build a platform for the Dyna Glo smoker for some time. And I've got some leftover lumber, some recycled lumber from the old platform. And I'm going to put together a really small 5x5 deck just to keep it off of the ground. I'm going to build a shelf on the side so that I can put what I'm using to cook with on the shelf instead of dragging a table out and doing that kind of stuff. So again, it's 5x5. These are 2x6s, treated lumber. They're going to be the bottom. I have some 4x4s that are going to be the corners. I have 4 pyramids that I bought in excess just for this project. And this will be big enough to put the smoker on, the shelf, and have a little bit of wiggle room to work while you're cooking. So I have the pass load nailer. I'm using 3-inch framing nails, and that is just for the ease of initial assembly. So what I'm going to do is, and I've got no plans, this is all just shooting from the hip, so to speak. So what I'm going to do is just nail this together, then I'm going to secure it with some 3-inch deck screws. And I've already pre-cut the framework. I've got the 4x4, these are 12s. So it'll leave a little bit underneath so that they will fit inside the pyramids. Then I cut 2 recycled pieces, 36-inch. These are going to go along one side, and this is where I'm going to build the platform for like a quasi table. So I thought I'd bring you along for this and see how it turns out. I would have made it bigger if I had more lumber, but I don't. And this stuff is just, I made the mistake because I didn't have the time to get down and pick it out personally. So I made the mistake of ordering it online. And they send you the most warped, split, knotted crap that they can find, I swear. And you can tell how warped this is. I cut these all at exactly 5 feet. So I have a piece of scrap wood here to put down so that I make sure that my 4x4s are flush with the top. Now, on the 36-inch 4x4s, I made marks because obviously the other end is going to be high enough so I can build some kind of a shelf. And they won't be flat on the top like these are now. I'm telling you, I don't have time to breathe. So now I'm going to take the first board, and I'm going to mark out the 4x4s to cut them out. It'd be easy just to leave a gap because there's going to be a shelf under it anyway, but I prefer it to be a snug fit. And then we'll measure to get our depth. And I'll just cut this out with a jigsaw. So I'm going to cut this at 1 5/8. So from the front, don't measure it backwards or you'll be bummed out. Well, you can flip it over, I guess. 1 5/8. 1 5/8. Then we'll make our line. I like making 2 lines in case the end of the board isn't square so you don't get things screwed up. And believe me, in this instance it's not a huge issue because it's not something that I'm making for a showpiece. Thank God. Now, typically for a project like this it wouldn't really bother me, but with the military deal, and I do tend to get a little anal, even if it doesn't matter. So, how about that? It's square. And that's off by maybe 1/16 of an inch, and we're going to let it go. All this wood is warped, and there's not a ton I can do about it. So we're going to nail these in flush with the top. Same thing on the back side. The inside. And you see, this is what I mean. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. But 1 inch and 5/16, it'll make me feel better. And then we're going to put in a couple of screws here anyway, just for security. And then I'll put my top piece on here. Of course, the Dyna Glo will go over here, and I'll have my shelf to put, tin foil, spices, seasoning, the food, whatever I have going on. So I had a piece of plywood that I thought I could put up here, and then I was going to clear coat it in polyurethane, seal it in, but it was 4 inches too short. So I'm going to use a 2x4 and a 2x6 to make my shelf. Unfortunately, sometimes that's just the way it goes. And of course, this is, like I said, warped out the kazoo. So we're going to do the best we can. Yeah, it's 2x4s twisted in both directions. guys, so here's the finished product. Yeah, a couple nail misses, but I'll get my grinder out here and cut them off. No biggie. Home Depot. I bought these. They're supposed to be for putting 4x4 posts in. Had a brain freeze. I used them on the deck, and at that time I knew that the 4x4s don't fit in the holes that they provide. It's pretty darn useless. So for the deck, because that's got to be proper, I trimmed all the way around the 4x4 on all four sides to make sure that it fit and sat flush with these pyramids. Totally forgot about it when I was doing this. So there's really no weight on this. They're treated 4x4s, so I just kind of leveled it off, and they're going to be just sitting on the ground. It's a super quick project, just so that I have a place to use the Dyna Glo and the small shelf over here, so I don't have to drag tables and nonsense around. But yeah, how can you make something like this that the product that's supposed to fit into it doesn't? It's absolutely ridiculous. I remember I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of them on the deck, and like I said, I had to chisel. I think it's 2 inches. I took off approximately 1/8 of an inch around each side of the 4x4 so that it would fit. Talk about a time waster. So I don't know who's at fault. The guys making the 4x4s or the guys making the pyramids. But yeah, I was not going to go through trimming all these 4x4s down to fit in here, as I said, because of the nature of this project. But just a bit of a warning. If you're buying these in the 4x4s at Home Depot and you think it's going to go great, it's not. Be prepared for a lot of extra work. So anyway, yeah, the Dyna Glo is here. We're super sturdy. This has been in the barn, and I have birds nesting in there, so now it's covered with bird crap. I haven't used it since the last video where I made the ribs. So it needs to be thoroughly cleaned, and I'm probably going to, not probably, I'm going to get a cover for it. I'm going to sand this down, repaint it with high temp paint on the firebox, and then I'll put a cover on it to keep it nice and clean. This is it. Yeah, I won't be using this again until I completely sanitize it. But the purpose of this video is I have a stand for it. It's not sitting on the ground all crooked and whacked out. I have this little shelf. Now I can put all of my stuff on it. I don't have to bring any tables or anything extra out here. It's very sturdy. So my purpose is served. It was leftovers. And here's another thing with the big box stores. If you place an online order for lumber, this is the 3rd or 4th time I've done it, and I should know better. You're going to get all the crap. Stuff with knots, stuff that's warped 2 directions, horizontal and vertical. And you're going to wind up with a lot of heartache. But because, again, of the nature of this product or this project, it worked out fine for me. It's exactly what I wanted. My wife is an insurance manager for a big company in the US, and supposedly, legally, you're not supposed to have grills, smokers, or anything like that on your deck. So I wasn't allowed to put this smoker on the deck, which is where I really wanted to put it, right outside the kitchen door. And so anyway, it's kind of out here, a little bit secluded. I like cooking in the wild, so to speak. But yeah, this is the 5x5, 36-inch high little shelf from the ground, and just get everything cleaned up, repainted, covered, and this is going to work for me. This is going to work great, actually. It's going to take a lot of stress off of bringing out, like I said, tables and things to put your pots, your pans, your food, your seasonings, your tongs, your plates, whatever. So I just thought I'd bring you guys along for this. Hope someone enjoyed it. And if anybody needs more information on how this was built, it was built extremely fast. It actually did turn out really square. It's stable. It's good to go. I'm going to be able to use this as I intended it to be used. But if anybody has any questions, comments, please post them. I try to reply to everybody. And thanks, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk soon. Take care.